I'm talking to you mission-driven leaders. If you've ever been hiking before, now I'm not a very intense hiker, not a very intense hiker. As a matter of fact, I'm a low-level hiker. But the question is, have you ever been hiking? Because if you've ever been hiking, there are certain equipment, tools, shoes, all the things. I was trying to say shoes. All the things, right? That you need in order for you to go hiking. Now, here's the thing. When you go hiking, you will bring something that's called a backpack. Same thing that you bring when you go to school or anywhere else, right? But when you go hiking, there are certain things that you're supposed to carry in your backpack. I want to ask you, as a mission-driven leader, what is in your backpack? You might say, I'm not hiking. You are. You're carrying a mission and you're trailing through the terrain of uncertainty to deliver impact, whether it's for a for-profit entity or a nonprofit entity. You are delivering impact. Now, if that's you and you understand where I'm going with this, I want you to say yes in the chat. I hear you. Hiking, put it in the chat. Put something in the chat to let me know that you're not just viewing, but you are engaging, that you are receiving what I'm saying, that this resonates with you. I say that because it may be time to unpack what is in your backpack. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to empty your backpack. But what I am saying is that you have to unpack your backpack. See, a lot of times when we're talking about this journey and this terrain of being a mission-driven leader, a lot of times people look at the obstacle and say, well, if I'm really hiking, then there's a mountain that I have to get past. And if I'm going to get past the mountain, like that is the obstacle. That is the thing that I have to think about. Everyone pictures a mountain as being something to conquer, something to endure. There was an old song when I was growing up, I'm coming up the rough side of the mountain. Nobody wants to go up a mountain. But for some reason, there are these special breed of people that like to go hiking and like to go up mountains. They like the challenge of being able to say that I went hiking. That is you, mission-driven leader. Who wants to run an organization to create impact knowing that we are in a very uncertain market right now, that we're in a lot of uncertainty about where funding is coming from and resources are coming from and people are coming from, because it is very hard to find good people nowadays to work with you, to work for you, people that have integrity, people that have very strong work ethic. This is a very difficult time that we are living in the world today. So why in the world would somebody want to go hiking? Well, they say a lot of reasons. If you've ever gone hiking in the chat, tell me, why do you go hiking? Some people say it's for the exercise. Some people say it's to get peace of mind. I heard somebody say the other day, there's something called forest therapy or hiking therapy. I'm like, really? Okay. Some people like to venture into the unknown and just want to know more about what's out there. Whatever your reason for why you chose to accept the call of being a mission-driven leader, I want you to be very assured that the problem is not the mountain. The mountain was there before you were born. The mountain may likely be there when you're not here anymore on this earth. What is the problem, though, is what do you have in your backpack? Again, I'm not telling you to empty the backpack, because if you got to go on a mountain, you better have that backpack. You better have the things that are necessary in that backpack. The problem isn't the backpack, y'all. The problem is, how are you carrying it? And what is the thing that you are carrying? Leadership is a weight in of itself. You can have a whole empty backpack and try to hold it for a few minutes. And I promise you, I could pick this little marker. And if I hold this marker with my arm out long enough, it will start to feel very heavy. And it's not a heavy thing. It's not a heavy thing, but it's going to feel heavy if I hold it for too long without resting, without giving myself space to shake off my arm a little. That's the same thing that happens with you when you're carrying the weight of being a good leader. So why are we talking about a backpack today? What is the mission rich backpack? Well, because there's something that I'm calling the mission rich backpack audit. The mission rich backpack audit is for you to really sit down and think about, what are you carrying as a leader? Why is it there? And what are you supposed to do with it? There's 3 questions that you're asking yourself. Number 1, I was teaching today. I had my mission rich experience, my first session in August. And so I had a little bit of residue from earlier when I was teaching, but there's 3 questions. How many questions? There's 3, right? 3 questions that you should be asking yourself overall. The first one is, what is in your backpack? What is always the question, right? Why is it there? And what should you do now? What should happen now? Now that you know what's in the bag, what should you do with it? Right? That's the backpack audit. Now, there's 10 aspects of this, and we're not going to get into all 10 of them tonight. We're going to get through 2, maybe 3. But if you want the full audit and all of the questions so that you can take the time to sit down and do an introspection of what you're doing as a leader, what you need to do differently, then you can message me, or you can send an email to info@monroenaylor.com or hello@monroenaylor.com, whichever one you choose. Message me or send an email, and we will make sure that you get your copy of this audit, because I really want you to be able to sit down and think about these 3 things. The 3 things that should be in your backpack. This is what we're going to talk about on tonight. I told you there's 10. How many? There's 10. There's 10 things that are going to be in your backpack. But we're going to talk about 3 on tonight. And the 3 that we're going to talk about are mission, strategic clarity, and clarity awareness. You might be saying, what's the difference between mission, strategic clarity, and clarity awareness? There are different things, and that's why we're going to talk about it on tonight. Mission, strategic clarity, and what did I say was the last one? I said clarity awareness, y'all. But it's really capacity awareness, because your girl's getting a little older. And there was I couldn't see one of the letters. So guess what? It's funny that my doctor tells me I got 20/20 vision, and I'm still wondering how is that possible, because I didn't see that clearly. So go on and laugh, because y'all do the same thing. So 3 things that every leader needs. What did I say? 3 things. How many did I say? There's 10 altogether. But there's 3 things that we're going to talk about tonight. So the first one is mission. The question of mission is this. I want you to repeat it with me as we're talking, as you're writing your notes down. Y'all, the mission rich strategist is getting busy on tonight. Y'all got to take down these notes, because a lot of people went to school, they got their degrees, they got their certifications, but what they didn't teach you in school is the stuff that we're talking about on tonight. I was very intentional When I started to really look at the kind of material that we talk about and the things we discuss, that I asked myself, what were the things that I learned as a crash course in 8 years of building a nonprofit from scratch that nobody taught me? What were the things that I learned from scratch in building a business, right? That nobody taught me when I was in school. First of all, nobody ever talked about the fact that mission-driven leaders can be a LLC or a nonprofit. That's another conversation for another day. We're going to talk about that in a few weeks. So mission is the very first thing that you need to have in your backpack. Where are we going and why? Why? Because if you're not sure where you're going, then you're not going to be sure about what you are supposed to pack for the journey. And what I mean by that, in the same sense of the natural, you're going to pack water for a certain number of days, depending on where you're going. You're going to pack, might be heating, the little heating packs. You might pack them ice packs, because if you're going to a hot place, you need to be cold. You don't need the hot packs if you're going to a cold place, or you need the hot packs if you're going to a cold place, but you don't need the hot packs if you're going to what? A hot place. So this is why you got to know exactly what the mission is and why are we doing the work that we're doing. The strategic clarity is actually combined with the capacity piece of asking these two questions. What matters now? What matters now? And can we sustain it? Because if it matters now and we can sustain it, then what? We have the information that is required to know if we have the capacity to do it, which means what? As a leader, these are the things that you're responsible for. Now, the other piece of this is this. I told you there were 10 things that are supposed to be in your bag. How many of us can relate to having 20, 30, 40, 50 things in our bag? Well, I'm going to tell you 3 things that are usually in the bag that should not be in the bag. Do y'all want to hear the 3 things that are usually in the bag that should not be in the bag? I can't hear you out there, YouTube. Do you want to hear the things? The 3 things that need to come out of your bag that should not be in your bag, but I guarantee you're carrying it. I'm talking to you parents. I'm talking to you business leaders. I'm talking to you faith leaders. Anybody that is mission driven, because guess what? As a parent, your mission is what? To take care of them babies and make sure they okay. Right? As a faith leader, take care of them spiritual babies and make sure they're okay. As a business leader, take care of my employee babies. No, sir. They ain't your babies. You take care of your team, your employees, right? And then you make sure that everybody is okay. That's what we do when we're mission-driven leaders. But here's the problem. We take the 3 things that I just told y'all, which we know is our responsibility. We know we're supposed to carry the mission. We know we're supposed to know what's happening. We know that we are supposed to be mindful of the strategic direction of the organization, even if we don't really know we're responsible for it. But here are the 3 things that you are likely carrying in your backpack. And if it's you, I want you to just say ouch and just suck it up, because we're about to figure out how to get the things out of the backpack. Are y'all with me? 3 things in your bag. 3 things to remove. I'm just going to say it that way, because I don't want to write all that. Number 1, other people's unassigned responsibilities. Other people's unassigned responsibilities. Now, I do know how to spell it out. I'm doing a little shorthand. The next thing is outdated survival strategies. I'm about to tell you what these are. The need to prove. Now, I want you to sit with this for a second. I want you to breathe on this. There's a thing, an event that you're planning to do. And you realize as you're planning the event that vendors need to be called back, deposits need to be made, decor needs to happen, a visit to the venue needs to happen to check and verify, maybe taste testing the food. And because you didn't sit down and make sure that someone had the responsibility to do that, you decide, I don't want to bother anybody. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to handle it. Is that you? Is that you? If that's you, just go on and raise your hand. I really can't raise my hand because my camera that I have likes to zoom in and zoom out. I don't feel like dealing with that. This is why these AI tools are something else, y'all. But are you resonating with me on that? You didn't foresee that there was a need. So because you didn't foresee that there was a need, you decided to take on the role, even though it's not your responsibility, rather than having your team look at what needed to be done and let people identify what actually makes sense for them to do. You take it on as an assignment. You add it to your backpack. Listen, I don't have a backpack with me right now. If I was thinking good, I would have had one. But I want you to picture all the things that we added to our bags, okay? You just adding stuff. You just adding stuff to your bag. You understand what I'm saying? Just adding stuff. See, you know you don't have no business putting this water thing up in here, but you're gonna do it anyways because you gotta make sure everybody else got water instead of making sure that they think to plan to have their water. Now, I'm not telling you not to think about people, but I want you to have a visual that it's not your responsibility to be the one to think of all the things. Other people need to exercise the muscle of thinking. And you have to exercise the muscle of giving people responsibility to prove that they can actually learn to do the thing. Otherwise, if they don't develop the skill, you are going to be stuck doing the thing forever because you never allow people to learn how to develop the skill. Now, there's empathy, and I teach about this in a training that I do. There's healthy empathy and there's toxic empathy. That's a toxic empathy at play. So stop doing the things that are causing you harm because you got to carry things you shouldn't be carrying because you take on things that you didn't plan to assign to people, but it also wasn't your responsibility to think of all the things. Even if you are a faith-based leader, even if you are a solopreneur, guess what? You're not going to think of all the things. You need a team. I talk about that in the Mission Rich Experience. I talk about that in my strategic sessions that I do, which I have a free complimentary assessments coming up next week. So if you want a complimentary assessment, you need to sign up so we can talk about what your needs are. Now, number 2, outdated survival strategies. What do I mean? We're in the age of AI, and you don't have any AI tools in operation? Because I'm afraid, I don't know about this AI stuff. Guess what? AI is everywhere. You cannot avoid it. Your banks use it. Your hospital uses it. Everywhere you go, people are using AI. Even before you realize it was AI, they were using AI. So all of this, I'm not using AI. I'm afraid. I don't know. No. That's an outdated survival strategy. I'm going to do it all. I'm going to keep track of everything by paper. No, you're going to go get some training so you can learn how to use your tools that are going to make you more efficient. Last but not least is the need to prove. What do I mean? Some people have to say out of their mouth for 15 or 20 times a day, I'm the boss, I'm in charge, I'm the parent, I'm the whatever. Nobody needs to hear that. Nobody needs to see you wearing that as a badge of honor that I have to remind everybody of my position. Just be it. Just do the thing and lead. And by you leading, you're going to provide the opportunity for folks to grow so that you're not doing the thing. Because guess what? If you are a leader and you're doing all the things and nobody's following you, who you leading? Nobody's following you. Nobody's learning. Nobody's picking up on how to do the things. So you're just the person taking a walk. I know. I know. I know that was kind of like, ooh, ooh. I know. I've been there and done that. I can say this to you and I can laugh about it. Because like I said last week, I was on a big struggle bus. I got on a little struggle bus. And I might have got on a struggle motorcycle or vehicle, SUV. Right? It takes time. It takes time. But what I want you to do in this situation, because now you're saying to me, look, LaTonia, you're right. Mission Risk Strategist, you are absolutely right. I'm carrying other people's unassigned responsibilities. I am walking in outdated survival strategies, thinking grants is the only way to do it, thinking that I have to do it myself. It's the only way to do it. And that's not the truth. And I don't think it ever was the truth. But I can tell you right now in this season, it's absolutely not the truth. The need to prove, who do you need validation from? You were called, you were purposed before you were born. Why do you need somebody to validate who you know that you are? Just be it. And don't carry around this need to prove to people and show them that you can do more and more and more and overextend yourself and burn out because you need to prove to people what you have the capacity to do. They don't need to be proven to that much. That's not helping the mission. It's funny because people think it's a badge of honor to show you how much I can carry. It's not. So the problem isn't the weight. Is it? Is the problem the weight itself? Or is it the distribution of the weight? So I showed y'all, I have my little bag and I filled my bag up. And it's much easier to carry this bag with hardly anything in it, right? But the way I had it earlier, it was so full. If I walk around with this thing for 5 minutes or so, my shoulders start hurting if I have all that stuff in it. But if I share the load, that is the key. It's not a problem to have the things in your backpack. It's not a problem to have unassigned roles for people to do. It's not a problem to have outdated survival strategies if you are willing to delegate and distribute so that you are not carrying the responsibility alone. I recently hired someone. Because I sat down, I go through all of my stuff and what I need to do to continue to strengthen my infrastructure of my business. And I realized I did not have anyone that could help me increase the traffic to my business. I was doing well once people came into the door, once people came to the classes, once people did the strategic sessions. The referrals have been amazing. But for me to get more increased traffic, I did not have a very strong pipeline. So I was looking for somebody very intentionally with a certain set of skills. And I went to an event, a conference, actually, InvestFest. I went, and when I was there, I found the person, exactly what I needed. They didn't have to convince me that I needed their service. I already knew I needed their service. I was looking for someone with that skill set. I was looking for someone with the values. They're probably watching now, checking me out, making sure I'm doing what I said I was going to do, right? Holding me accountable. I knew the things that I needed. And so I was already prepared because I knew I couldn't carry this load of doing this particular technique or technical things because it wasn't going to allow me to scale. It was going to weigh me down. And now I have this big old burden I'm carrying by myself. But now I could share some of that load with that person. I could share some of the load of getting my social media. I could share some of the load with my executive assistant. I could share some of the load with my daughter who just started helping me with my videos and posting my videos and stuff, right? That is what you want to do. So the problem doesn't become the mountain. The problem is not the mountain. It's not the thing you need to do. Can I bring you along to understand where I'm going with this? The thing you have to do, the mountain that you have to go over, the mountain that you're climbing, that you're trying to figure out, how in the world am I going to do this? I don't know if I know anybody that's ever done this like this before. That mountain is necessary for you to get to the place where you need to be. Because there are people that are waiting for you on the other side of the mountain, and they cannot get the help that you're supposed to give them. They cannot receive the services, the products, whatever it is, the faith, whatever it is that you're bringing, they can't receive it if you don't make it up the mountain to get to the other side. But here's the thing. The capacity to carry it doesn't live only with you. There are systems, there are people, there's a board, there are processes that you can put in place. There's technology, there are partnerships, there's mentors, there's coaches, there's people that specialize in doing the thing that can help you get to your destination, so you don't have to feel like you got to do it by yourself. This allows you to build the ability for the organization to carry the mission. All of these people, all of these resources allow you to be able to do the thing. And then here's what happens. 5 things happen when you are able to distribute the weight. Some of it you keep. Some of it is used to support. Some of it is used to share. Some of it gets reassigned. And some of it does get removed. But not everything needs to come out of your backpack today. This is me giving you the, how do they say it? This is me giving you the version of the conversation that people really don't want to have. Most people want to say, oh, it's not yours to carry. Just put it down. Stop doing it. Now, I do tell y'all, don't carry things that don't belong to you. But in context, what I'm saying is certain things you're carrying out of obligation that don't belong to you, but that doesn't mean it doesn't belong as a responsibility that you have to help see through. It doesn't mean because you don't like numbers that now you don't do numbers and bookkeeping. No, you don't need to do the bookkeeping, but you should have somebody that knows how to do it. So this is what happens with the weight when you are a leader who understands that there is a difference between temporarily carrying something and permanently designing an organization that you are the only one that is carrying it. Does that resonate? There's a difference between temporarily. Temporarily, I was doing my leads. Temporarily, I was working on my sales stuff. Temporarily, I was building my landing pages. Temporarily, I'm doing the emails and reaching out and setting up the calls. Temporarily, I'm talking about from my consulting business side. Now, I've done a lot of other things. I've written grants, multi-million-dollar grants and all the things, but temporarily, I'm not doing all of that every day because I can't have the capacity to carry that and expect my organization to have a high revenue base and sustainability. What do I have to do? I have to bring on people to carry the thing. But since I know how to do it, I know that you're doing it right or know that you're doing it wrong. And maybe somebody else needs to be doing this. Dependence on a highly capable leader feels okay at the present when you're carrying and getting things done, but it is not okay when it becomes a hyper dependence that everything belongs to you. So what's in your backpack? What have you been carrying so long that you don't remember when you picked it up and put it in your bag, and now you deciding, I don't know if I want to put it down? If you want to know for yourself, you want to pull it apart, then I'm inviting you to get the full 10-item Mission Rich Backpack Audit. Comment below. Comment below. Or message me or send that email to hello@monroenaylor.com or info@monroenaylor.com. I'll get them all. My assistant will make sure I get them. Okay, because we do have that, and we also do have that complimentary assessment that I was telling you about. The link will be in the comment section as well. I want you, yes, I do. I want you that if you qualify to get that assessment to sit down with me. So if you have enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to share it with a friend. I encourage you to share it with a strong leader, a strong friend that you know, that you have. I encourage you to subscribe because I'm here every single Tuesday. Normally I'm on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I have to get to a graduation. So I will be heading out now to go to the graduation. But thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing